And I'm here. What is up, everybody? How about, this... Yes, clapping for the start of the stream. How is everyone? Are we doing well? So, it's another Sunday with another printer build. Hopefully everything is working okay on the streams. Everything's good. Yeah, Ender 5. So, Creality reached... I wasn't planning on doing an Ender 5. There are a lot of Ender 5s out there. Creality reached out to me and said, hey, you should have an Ender 5. So they sent me one, and here it is. And it's been a few months. I don't know when this officially showed up, but you know how things go around here. We're always just a little bit late. I don't know what the date was, but it's been here for a couple of weeks at least. So today we're going to put it together and see if we can get it to print. There are a whole lot of people in chat. I see Jim, Chris Galata, Andrew S. is here. Callan, hello, how are you? Jake from State Farm is here. Felix is here. Please, Greg, please hold your calls. Yes. I try to change up the elevator music every now and then. I think I'm on like the second or third rendition of elevator music that I found. I enjoy it, but I think it really irritates a lot of people, which is always fun. 3D Jimmy, Alien 3D, he is doing an all-day stream for the Children's Network charity. Definitely check that out then. Thank you, Jimmy. Lenny is here. Tim Banks is here. Jay Griffiths, he actually goes by Andy. Andy is here. Hardman, Sweden representing. Awesome. So, let's see what we got here. My Stream Deck wasn't working too well earlier for some reason. Don't know why. Ooh, I don't like the way that camera looks either. Let's change that up a bit. Ah, that looks much better. So, let's see what we got in this box. Hello, Trey, Dave Avery, hello. Grandpa Joe is here. Hello, Grandpa Joe. I missed somebody. Angel is here. Mapper06 is here. So it was Mapper06. So somebody tweeted, I don't remember who tweeted it, but whoa, 3D Medic Events is here, and they're selling Creality machines at Micro Center? I gotta check that out. I haven't been to my Micro Center in a while. I need to go over there and see what's up. Skulda is here. Hello. So yeah, somebody tweeted out a picture of somebody in line at Orlando Maker Faire with a Chris's Basement shirt on. And I didn't know who they were because I've never met that person, and face to face. And it turns out it was Mapro6. So thanks for the support over there, Orlando. Robert Reynolds is here. Hey, Skulda, I'm doing well. How are you doing? Thanks for asking. I did see your vintage printer bot on Twitter. You got one of the old wood ones. That is old school right there. I don't even know when they made that thing. Like, it had to be, I mean, more than 4 or 5 years ago, right? I mean, that thing's got to be pretty old. 14, 15, maybe even older than that. So what we got here? We've got a bottom assembly, a top assembly, a couple of pieces of extrusion. So it's supposed to be pretty much put together, yeah? I don't know anything about an Ender 5, to tell you the truth. Never really paid attention to it. I was assuming it was Core XY, but from these pictures, it is not Core XY. It is some sort of HBOD-ish looking type of machine. Okay. Well, the manual looks pretty good. I can say that. So we'll take a look. Playing games for his 24-hour stream. Excellent, excellent. Lars from Germany, hello. Ender 3 Pros, $200, nice. Had to come for the Ender 5, excellent. It's a Cartesian. Yeah, it's one of them types that does different things and stuff, you know. LCD screen. Creality extruder. Feeder, if you'd like to call it that. What in the world? Alright, so this is interesting. Alright. We'll put that over there. You like watching the command? Never let the machines win. Mike is here. He likes watching the commercials to help us out, but he's still not buying a Form 3. I understand. So we do have some sort of removable bed sheet here on one of the fridge magnet deals. So that's kind of nice, I guess. Then we have a tops gantry that's mostly assembled. Typical Creality Hotends setup there. So we need a little more room. Sergio is here. HVAC A to Z. I don't know why that's hard for me to say. John Dubin is here. Hello. Mad Monkey is here. How's it going? Trying to watch the video slow down. I get slowed down a lot, actually. That's not an unusual comment. Slow down. Can't help it. Trying to cram a whole lot of information into a video. Breakfast with Chris, yes. Everybody grab your coffee. We'll see how long this day is going to be. We do have fun in the country basement this afternoon. We are back. Get some cutters and some wrenches. We are back today, as far as I know. I haven't talked to the boys much this week, but I think we'll be alright. Got some couplers and some screws, spool holder, scraper, you know, the stuff. Hopefully you can actually see something. I'm kind of to the one side on that camera there. Got some extrusion. Arduino Makes is here. Thomas, what's up, man? I haven't seen or heard from you in a long time. Hopefully everything's going well. Ham Rice Larry is here. Right on, Ham Rice Larry. We'll be here most of the day. Lots of pauses and rewind. Exactly. At least there's pause and rewind for us, because I watch a lot of videos the same way. Going well. Excellent. Good to hear. Good to hear. Thomas Hernandez, how are you? Glenn was sick after Orlando. Oh, that sucks. Robert V-Line is here. Hello. That was loud. Sorry about that. Thomas is doing a stream later today. Excellent. Everybody go check out Thomas's stream later today. He's a very bright young man. There's a switch on the front. Hopefully that's the front. Okay. Now we're in business. So it's, you know, pretty well wired up and everything already. It is set to 230. That's not going to do a lot for us in this country. That has been fixed. Alrighty. Benjamin Ford, what's up? 3D Gustner's here. Yambo Prime, hello from Spain. How do I fast forward this video? It's gonna be tough, buddy. It's gonna be tough. Not sure what time. Well, we'll be on the lookout for it. Arduino had a 3D printer? I don't know. I've never seen that one. Got to talk to Joe. Joe's a good dude. Joe was, speaking of being sick, Joe was very sick at IRF. He was not feeling so good. Felt bad for him. Paulo from Portugal is here. Hello, Paulo. They're telling me what all the parts are. That's nice of them. They're giving me an exploded view of how it's put together. Which is pretty handy, actually. You don't see that in these guides. Maybe they're stepping up their game here. So these 4040s, do they all have a hole in the top? That's the first thing. It looks like they do. And the hole in the top goes to the outsides, because it looks like the carriage just sets on top of there and it bolts down like so. M5 by 25 screws. Greg, 36 degrees in Wisconsin. Last Tuesday, it was 9 degrees here. Yeah, 9. I wasn't really thrilled. It has been pretty good ever since then, though. Like, I think it's gonna be, it was like 50 yesterday, so we're doing okay. Wrenches are included in this kit, and now I'm not going to use them. Cool with you? Cool with me. Ender 5 Pro, another Ender 5, so that I can make one with dual lead screws. Do you think it's necessary? Well, I don't know yet. I'm not even sure how big an Ender 5 is, but this has been kind of a classic design over the years. Like the one lead screw, it kind of depends how the bed's built. And I don't know yet. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know that you would need a dual on something like this. The bed is not very big, so single should be okay. Flip the awesome night before I cut myself. Oh, you worry too much. Besides, I'll blame you because you made it. So Tom 3D Printing Llama is here. You want me to flip it but it doesn't fit so nicely if I flip it the other way. I could close it, I guess, but then I'd have to open it when I needed it. Yeah, 9's pretty chilly, and it was very breezy as well, which doesn't help anything. All right, let's start putting some stuff together, shall we? What? Safety third. Don't cut towards yourself, cut towards your friends. You think the Ender 5 will become one of my favorite printers. All right, I'll remember that. When you have a kilogram of filament on it, you will want dual lead screws. Good point, good point. You can't see anything that I'm doing, can you? Who wants to see? We just want to see it smoke or something, right? We don't want to actually see anything. That's overrated. There. I was wondering what you were trying to get out there, Tom. It was entertaining, whatever it was. -6? Ouch. This is the time of year when everybody complains about how cold it is. We're getting to the season where it's going to start getting really cold down here. And that is somewhat miserable when you're trying to crank through a video. I can tell you that. Not a lot of fun. 222, 2300. Alrighty. These aren't threaded or anything, are they? They are threaded. But they're threaded on both sides. If it vapes, you'll be more impressed. Alrighty. Jerry from 3D Printing and Painting is here. Hello. Your buddy, not your body. I like that one. Hello from a username that I can't pronounce, but hello anyway. Welcome. Do you live in Antarctica? No. You live in Antarctica. I know you were talking to Dave there, but I thought it was kind of funny anyway. I'm hooked. 74? That's not right. That's not right at all. Clash? Hello? Almost put that on upside down. Mario Makers? Hello? John Smith, thank you for the thumbs up reminder. I always appreciate the thumbs up reminder when I'm watching streams, because a lot of times I forget. And I should remember things like that, being on the YouTubes and such, but I don't. Mad Mike is here, one of my favorite folks. Not that I don't love you all, but Mad Mike's a good guy. Chris Cable is here. Happy Sunday. Imagination to Form is here. All the folks are showing up. And as usual, during a build like this, one of my first thoughts is, where am I going to put this when it's done? No clue. Martin for 3DP Iceland is here. No smoke yet. You got to the stream early. Chris Galata will store it for me. Chris is a good guy. Always willing to store printers for you at his house. Alright. Well, I feel like I've actually done something here. I put extrusion on. Break time. Come on. Enlarge the basement. I wish I could. That would be really. It'd be cheaper to move. I understand, but it'd be really cool to like pour a wall like 15 feet, 20 feet out that way and extend it out. It'd be badass. David Wilson is here. Good morning. Yes. David Wilson, I found out, is he lives really close to me here in Kansas City, which is cool.
Hey Chris, I have a TAS 6 with multiple tool heads. Spot has a weird bed leveling using the stainless corner bed pieces. Should I even consider trying clippers since I have multiple tool heads?
Let me think on that a second. James has no sound from Print and Play. He is here, but he wants a thumbs up, so I gave him that. Lenny, I do have a day job. I'm a mainframe system programmer during the day. Greg is also willing to store some printers. That's good. Yeah. Have to fight to be allowed to get one more. I understand. So, Benjamin Ford. Thank you very much for the $10. That is appreciated. TAS 6, multiple tool heads. Lulzbot has weird bed leveling, and that is true. I've experienced that. Should you even consider trying Clipper since it has multiple tool heads? It's gonna be a challenge. I'm trying to think. I looked at Clipper again a couple of weeks ago. I haven't actually installed it for months now. But they've made a lot of advancements. I am not actually sure on multiple toolhead support and how that works. I'm guessing you could make it work. The bed leveling is going to be kind of tricky. I don't know. I think if I was going to go, well, I don't know. I'd have to think on that. I'll have to think on that. I'm not sure. Chris creates Tron. Yes, it does still exist. There's not very many of us. I am the youngest one in my group. Yes, there's just a handful of us still around, but we're here. Parking extruder only. So if that is the case, then I wouldn't try it yet. I'd give it some time. Watching this and following the ESP8266 video, excellent. There have been some changes to a couple of those modules and how that software works. So best of luck to you on that. I really should update that or something one of these days. Creates Tron. So yeah, maybe not jump to Clipper quite yet. And then we put the top on. So what do we got here? We've got, so it's actually just setting exactly how it needs to go. Just like this. Well, I have to say, so far, the assembly is pretty straightforward. See you later, Greg. Copy in mirror mode for Core 2 XI. Ah, okay. That sounds interesting. You sound like my buddy Daniel Halverson. He does crazy stuff like that. Will we have a flawless assembly? Oh, well, we will find out. We're going to find out together. If you recall, this one isn't so good. This one's got something in the screw head. Anyway, if you recall, the ones that were supposed to be, 90% builds, or the ones that are supposed to work right out of the box, haven't been going so well lately. So maybe this will be our lucky kit. Chris just doomed to build. Yep, I tend to do that. But it's more entertaining for the stream if I doom the build right off the bat. Yeah, Benjamin, that is going to be a struggle. It just is. Clipper isn't the most straightforward thing anyway, but in that configuration, I think it's going to be a challenge. David, no, I never really thought about it, I guess, but I assumed that these were Core XY, but they are not. It's a Cartesian H type of setup here. It's not actually a Core XY machine. It's an interesting configuration because I mean they're driving it back here with a NEMA 17 that's got a straight through shaft, so it's got a coupler on both sides. You probably can't see that in the picture. Yeah, right here. So that's kind of interesting. We'll see how it goes, but no, it is not Core XY. Yeah, we always have a problem with camera orientation on these streams. Things look objects in the mirror are closer than they seem. 42% built. Wonder if I ever ran across a belt drive lead screw system. Yes. I have had, I can't remember off the top of my head what models they were. Now I'm trying to think. I've seen that configuration a couple times though. If you're talking about where the belts actually, like it would be like on a cheaper Delta or something where the belt would actually lift it in Z. Yes, I've seen that configuration a couple of times. If I was building a printer, I don't think I would go that way. But, you know, it works, I guess. Now, if you're talking about where you have two lead screws combined with a belt, yes, I've seen that as well. That's common on large machines, like the FT6 has that design where you've got an idler gear. They're connected to both sides, and then the motor's actually in the center underneath. And it seems to work. I mean, it helps keep them synchronized a bit, I would say. But it seems to work okay. Benjamin Embers is here. Hello. I don't even know what that means, but you can let that through. Yeah, shipping from Prusa is always the killer, right? Viking does a belt drive Z with a worm gear. Cool. You've had one of these and you're struggling to get a SKR Pro in there? I don't know. Hacksaw? I don't know. 3D Print Viking is here. I don't know if I said hello to you. Hello, Thomas. Red Light Mike. Eccentric Nut is here. But the gummy bears, that's what you're paying for. It's the shipping on the gummy bears. All right, what's next? It's one nice thing. Pretty much everything is the same size screw. Now, I'm going to say that laying this down flat would make putting the Z carriage in much easier. Maybe? Possibly? I hope they drive this upwards and not down. Do they? They do? Cool. They're holding back the firmware, are they? That's not good. I hope this isn't similar to the Tronxy flying motor printer. I would guess this one has the same old Creality board that they all have, right? That 4-socket small one. I would be shocked if it was something different. Excellent. MMU2s on non-Prusa printers. It's doable. Mine seem to work okay. So let me know how that goes. Yeah, John Smith, I think you could make those printers work pretty well. But a lot of the stuff that came on at stock are extremely frustrating. Precision and repeatability. Most of the time I've found you can only do it once. Thomas, that brings up a good point. Almost gets hit in the face. This time I have to get hit in the face. Thomas, I'm thinking we will do the next giveaway at 25,000. What do you think about that? You think we're close enough to that? We are getting really close to 20. I didn't see what the number was today, but we're getting pretty close to 20. I think 25,000 is a good round number for a giveaway. Plus, that will get us through into next year. Give us a little time to plan it out. Ooh. $19,600. All right. Now we're jumping down to M4. Matt UK is here. Hello. I also like building Marlin from scratch. John Smith, my 3D Chameleon kit is supposedly on the way. So we will check that out for sure. It looks cool. I gotta say that. I like the way it looks. It's fun to watch. There's a lot of G-code in there, though. There's G-code magic, as I like to say. So we'll see how that goes. Yes, Jim over the Edge of Tech is at 5,000 subs. Congratulations. Sean Gould, which printer do you have? Is it something that you've devised yourself, or is it something that we could take a look at? Get my beard as long as that would take a while. That would take a while. Build like so far? Tristan is here. Hello, Tristan. It's easy going. Haven't broke anything. They tell me not to put the others in because maybe there's something that attaches there. They tell me to install 4, but there's actually a couple more holes in there. So I guess I won't put those on yet. Counterweight. Colin just subscribed. Thank you, Colin, for the subscription. Robbie Mack is in here. There he is. What's up? Need some music in the background. I wish I could put music in there without a copyright strike. That'd be fun. You have screws in all the holes. Okay, I don't think that's a bad idea. It like to zap you from the factory? What? Yeah, I did notice that this one is a Landy power supply. A plethora. What are the frame dimensions? How sturdy is it? It's like around this big. No. So far it's pretty sturdy. It looks pretty cubish. Maybe it's a little taller, of course, but the frame is roughish 440. Almost 420. 410. So 410, 410, 440. Seems sturdy-ish. Bigger than the bread box. Yes, this stream is Robbie Mac friendly. Extruder. Spool holder that I won't like. They go for extruder back here. So I guess we'll go with that. With some T-nuts. Oh, somebody asked if there was going to be fun in the country basement today. As far as I know, there is fun in the country basement today. But sometimes I'm the last to know things. So, if not, I will be here. I will stream something. I promise. Set it down just a little bit. some rubber ducks. Okay. Mark Greco's here. Hello. Ron Happy Extruder probably didn't say hey to you. Hey, Ron. What do we do with the screen? It's over here. Chris Galata, I wish I was done traveling, brother, but I am not. I'm here until after Thanksgiving, and then I'm gone again for a couple of weeks. And then I think I'm done traveling for a little while, but I'm not sure actually. I might not be done traveling. I usually find out like, a week before. Really nice Core XY machine. Yeah, I'm trying to think of the one you might be thinking of. I mean, Railcore is kind of the best of the best, probably. Somebody mentioned that already, right? Phone's making noises. Railcore. Railcore is just fun to say. Yep. Railcore. Coming soon. Sunday. It's Railcore. End stop switch. There you go. I hear the Railcore kit is quite the build. Quite the build. Oh. This acts like you have to put the end stop switch on. But they're just telling you you need to plug a wire into it. Gotcha. You mean the Fun in the Country Basement interview? Yes, I did see that. It was excellent. Best interview ever. I don't think that there are any more screws to be put in. I think we're about done. Second Go, we're going to look at that one next. That will be the next printer that we build. I think that's how you call it. Secit? S-E-C-I-T? Something? Lulzbot going out of business. It is kind of sad to hear. Did we officially get word that they are going out of business, or are they retooling still? I don't remember the official announcement. I know that they did a big cutback, but it's sorry to hear because they have been around a long time. They have been doing most of their work in like schools and things like that, but their price point is interesting to say the least at what you get. Thought they got bought, maybe. Second go, yes. That's the next one, and that I'm looking forward to that one. We might have to spend a little more time on that one. Jake from State Farm, Matt, he's just so saucy, isn't he? Acquired by another company. I heard that. Hank is alerting me to somebody in the front of the house. Second is, it looks like a great kit. And he's putting out all kinds of changes and everything all the time. So it's good to see that he's, you know, staying on top of it. He is also a very friendly person. Ernest is his name. All right, what do we got? I don't know what's going on up there, but Hank is very concerned. Somebody's ringing the doorbell over and over. Don't they know that I'm trying to live stream? And of course it doesn't work. Alright, I guess I need to go see who this is. Or maybe not. Maybe we should just avoid it altogether. Shh, don't anybody say anything. We'll hide. We'll just keep building. It'll be fine. Now let's go look at these wires. So we're going to connect... this is what I'm looking for. Okay. I'm going to lay this like this. Wife just left, unfortunately. Thomas is back. Need a ring cam, I do. So there's X and X in stop. We got bed. Bed should be fairly short, yeah. This is an actual XT60 connector. So that's cool. Nozzle thermistor, bed thermistor. The labels are good. I like that. That is true. We do get some friends visiting door to door occasionally. That's true. Tom and Joe have both had. Hank was down here once. It was a long time ago, but he was on one of the streams. Got a whole lot of people coming in close. That's awesome. We need to have some sort of local meetup. I say that, and then I get really lazy. I know Joe, Mike, and a couple of the guys were doing. They had a meetup or something, and I couldn't attend it, of course. Do I have Discord? I don't. I was a member of someone, like Walter had a Discord or something, and I was on there, but I never jumped on there. I don't know why. I just didn't. No, I don't really participate in Discord much. Let's see what we got. I'm just randomly putting stuff on here now. EXP3. Now that I got all the wires out from underneath, we should be good. Probably can't see that, but I'm just putting some wires together. It's not a big deal. Derek Matthew? I think it's Derek anyway. Hello. They have done a pretty good job keeping the colors good. What does that say? I don't want to make fun of anybody, but that's pretty funny. I need to take a picture of that and send it to Glenn. Here, I'll show you, just because I think it's funny. Ricky Tanner, haven't seen you in a while, buddy. How's it going? Don is here. Hello, Don. Just because I find it amusing, and you know, most days I'm 5. I want to show you this. So this printer has fans on it, right? Well, you've got Fun 2 and Fun 1. I don't know. I thought it was amusing. Okay, back to wiring things. Fun 1 has been plugged in. Fun 2 has been plugged in. I have to remember to tell Glenn that I found him and Xander on this printer. That's right. Fun Google Translate. Okay, so we got X up here. What's a good way to route these? Any thoughts on that? I guess there's kind of a hole right here that we could zip tie that down to. We'll go X up there. Yep. I'm guessing this is extruder. No, that's Z. That's why it's so short. So untangle that a bit. Y. Because we love you. Robot Hut is here. Man, John, I went to make one of those string climbing robots the other day. And I got all the printed parts loaded in the slicer and everything. And then I thought to myself, man, that's a lot of parts. So then I didn't build it. So I know it was like ultimate laziness, but maybe I still will. So we have a Z instap on the top, but then we have the Z motor down below. It's kind of a precarious way of doing this ribbon type cable. Not sure I really enjoy that, but okay. So yeah, that happened. Guess we can kind of work it down there. All right, I guess it'll work. I think that's it. I think we're done. Z ends top. Show some backbone. Thanks. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. No Fun 3. I guess that's it. Does our lovely manual tell us anything further? Nope. They tell us that we should plug it into the wall. That's a good suggestion. They did give us a cord. How long is this cord? It's not a bad cord. Which way do funds spin? Oh, Brian Vines. He's the punniest. Definitely going to need some more coffee in that cup. Definitely. This is going to be more than difficult to get a decent shot of this. Let me push it back some. Hopefully that's zoomed in or something, because that doesn't seem... Ah, yes, it is. Excellent. Doesn't seem near wide enough. So let's peel this off, if they didn't put it... Ooh. Don't break, don't break. Thank you, Dave. I checked that as soon as I got it out of the box, and it is now set to 120. Hey, there's a missing wire. Okay, where's the switch? Up here? It boots. How's my sticky bed here? Fun. Fun 3. Alright, let's see if it'll home. Gotta love that Creality motor sound. Backpack coffee maker? That'd be good. Lenny, creating a profile from scratch? It depends what machine you're using, but I would just start with the one for the Mark II or the Mark III and pull some of the G-code out. I'll adjust this camera as we work here. Well, maybe we'll push it over that way, like we usually do. Well, you could wait a while for the Z to come up, huh? Dat bed is slow. Hopefully we don't crash or anything here. I do have some adjustment, which is pretty nice. Yeah, we got a little bit of crashy there. It's a little crashy. But we haven't done the bed yet, and this is pretty loose. Disable. Let's, before we do that, what I was gonna go do, and got distracted. Let's clean that a bit. Let's preheat. And then let's turn the motors off. Ooh. Disable X and Y steppers or disable steppers? Interesting. I guess you would actually just want X and Y. That's kind of cool. I've never seen that on one of these before. They're thinking. They're thinking. All right. Let's eyeball this. Yeah, the front is just a little floppy. Oh, one over there is hard to see. That's not terrible. I could probably print with that. Okay. Now those, because of the height that it's at, and you're getting interference from the extrusion, it's actually just a little bit hard to see. But I would like to see what the difference is in the center. All I know is in the chat there's a whole lot of talk about being floppy. I want no part of it. Church of 3D printing? I wouldn't go that far. But it is a good time on a Sunday. And the 192 in the congregation. And I love y'all. Yeah, I mean, guys, you definitely could make the Bowden tube a little shorter on this design. That sounds like a mod to me. Even in this configuration, you could get it down just a little bit, but what are you gonna do? So the carriage is good. I really didn't even check a whole lot of this, did I? We're heated up, 45. We need a file in this order. We need a file, we need to print it, we need to get some coffee, and then we need to stand around and watch it for a while. So, let's get a file. Let's start there. They did give a pretty good sized sample here. Quarter spool, maybe? 200, 300 grams? 300 grams, maybe? That's not bad. I do like those little spools. They're very convenient, especially when you have a lot of samples around. Let's see. What is this? 220, 220, 300? It has a really long Bowden tube. You figure I could slice like an Ender 3-ish and get by with it? Let's make that the plan. They gave us an SD card, right? So I don't have to cable up. Aha! Benchy time. Have we even been on an hour yet? Oh, hour and 10 minutes. Wow. SD card appears to work. It has a cat, a dog, and a pig on it. Oh my. What color filament do we want today? I've got a little bit of silver sparkle left. I tell you, these companies need to make up their minds on USB ports. Can't we just all go to like C or something and forget all this nonsense? Cards in. Somebody subscribed. That's really Mixist. Thank you for subscribing. Not pink. Yes, it is mini USB, like the other Creality boards. Ooze, alien ooze. Rob W has used one of the new YouTube stickers to super chat. Thank you very much, Rob, by the way, for the $20. And these new YouTube stickers are adorable. That is much appreciated, and you're the first one to use one of those. Very cool. Thank you. Okay, filament. I keep getting distracted. I don't have any alien ooze. I think I am all out of alien ooze. This could be a good excuse to open another color. I don't know. Let me see what I got sitting over here real quick. Were there any idea? The brightest yellow you can find. Persimmon, I got some over there. Aqua blue from the shelf behind you. I don't know which one that is. Let me grab something from. I got a couple of piles of filament over here. You can come with me. We'll talk while we look. Some of that. There's some red. How about dark purple? What do they call this stuff anyway? It doesn't show up very good on camera, but it is pretty cool filament. This is Prusament Galaxy Purple. How about that? It's good looking filament. Let's go with that. I could either, I guess we could just do filament from the sky. It will have to go up, but it's quality stuff. It won't matter. That's my filament from the sky spacer, aka a filament box. And that's why I have a filament from the sky spacer. It's because it glugs like that. It's really annoying when you're setting up stairs. Do they have some sort of guide that so that's threaded on the bottom? Filament in the mouth. I would be more comfortable They don't tell you to do anything like that. What kind of thread is that, though? It's like 3mm or something. I don't care for that. Oh well. I was going to say that I would be more comfortable with a coupler on the bottom of that that had a PTFE tube in it. Now, they have put that brass in there to keep from eating up the arm. I get that, but might not have been the best choice. There's Clint in here. Hello, Clint. Clint, you sent me PayPal or some sort of support the other day, and I missed it in my email, but I wanted to make sure that I told you that I really appreciate it. Thank you very much. All right. Did we get a file? We got a file. We're good. Let's see what it does. Inside the Mind of Matt is here. Hello, Matt. Congrats on your drone license test. Yeah, I watch videos. Marlon? Maybe I'm pronouncing that right. Thank you for joining the stream all the way from the Philippines. Thomas doesn't need a license. Any change in opinion on Dual Z? Maybe. I don't know that it would actually be required to fix this problem, but because this is just really thin metal, that's the problem here. But I don't know. Let's see. Let's get a couple of prints done. Max, how many printers do I have in the basement? I have no clue at this point. Hello, Mike. How are you? And it looks fabulous. Try not to pull filament from the sky off of here. This is a pretty handy one, though, to give you a good view of what's going on. That makes it easier for me. There we go. Now all I have to do is deal with filament from the sky. John Smith, now there's a nerdy one from way back. Pumpkin pie. A bit noisy. It sounds exactly like every other Creality machine out of the box. I don't know. It is kind of becoming standard. It's kind of becoming standard. You still see these types of boards, but we're getting there. I'm guessing a 4988 probably costs 5 cents, and a 2208 probably costs 75 cents. All right, it's printing. Where's this up here? Yeah. I don't know what version this is, but it is not the silent board. Coffee time. It absolutely is. So you guys watch this. I'm going to grab some coffee real quick. This is really overexposed, trying to give you a good view. But I'll be back in a second. Okay, I'm back. What did I miss? Yes, the other end is orbiting around the Earth. 1-to-1 swap for the silent board. I don't know. I think most of those silent boards come with Ender 3 firmware. I don't know if there's one specific for Ender 5. Maybe someone on this stream knows. Don't know that. Is the Hotend fun spinning? That's a good question. Yes, well, the part fun is spinning. Yes, both funs are spinning. Thomas, I agree with you. I like the old 8-bit boards. I think they're fun. 32-bit boards are cool too, though. That's why I had my fancy cardboard spacer on there. Because it kept getting hooked. There. Drop-in replacement with Marlin 2. Sweet. What do you think of SKRs? SKRs, I like SKRs. They're very affordable. I have had people say that they've had issues and had to get, like had to ship it back or whatever. But at the price that they sell them, they're going to be really hard to beat. Chris from Quebec, happy to see you. No EEPROM on SKR. Well, so far this printer's doing a fabulous job. The extruder tube, the Bowden coupler, suffers from the usual, but that's not too big of a deal. .3 has EEPROM, the rest have simulated EEPROM. It's actually easier to watch the print on the monitor than it is in real life. Who needs real life? Psh. The top speed on this profile is 60 millimeters a second, so that would be what the infill was. But those layers are being cooled by auto. Those layers are being slowed down by auto cool, so who knows? I have never tried a water-cooled hot end. I always wanted to, never got around to it. Printing ABS like magic. That's good to hear. Monitor has more resolution than real life. Building a Piper Infinity, cool. SKR is not a bad choice. I think it's a fine board, especially for the money. Well, and Prusa, to your point, Prusa has put a whole lot of money in development of firmware for that 2560 processor. I think you are correct. I mean, the Mini is going to come with this new 32-bit board, the Buddy board or whatever they call it. But that's going to be interesting to see its development and where he goes with that 8-bit. I'm anxious to see that, actually. We'll see what the next generation... Mark III's been out for a long time now. We should see the next one come up pretty quick. We'll see what it is. What's my favorite coffee? I'm a cheap date, Jimmy. I just drink Folgers. Buy it in the giant cans and go for it. That's what I've been drinking my whole life. I think I started drinking coffee when I was roughly 5. Something like that. And that's what I've always drank. So that's what I drink. Jake from State Farm, do you own a Prusa? I would agree with you. The Prusa XL, I'm guessing they will use the Mini as a stepping stone to get there. I don't think that Prusa would keep going with 2560 if he's already starting to do development on that 32-bit board. I think you'll just see that board from now on, probably. Stephen the Lightspeed is here. Hello. Chris Cable. Large format printers that are going to be reliable as a Prusa. None that I have used. And the only ones that I could think of are going to cost a fortune. And I'm not sure that they would even be as reliable as a Prusa. You'd probably be better off building one at that point. Not to say there isn't one out there. That's just out of the experiences that I've had. Every Ender 3 upgrade video you've ever seen. Yeah. How's the Arduino Maker going, Thomas? Making good progress? I'm totally gonna butcher that. Manoils? Thank you for joining from Greece. Print's looking nice, yeah. No complaints on that whatsoever. No issues here with your 10S5. Nice. Series of custom boards, absolutely. Well, now, right? I mean, now that Prusa is in the position that he is at such a size, and I talk like he's doing it all himself. Now that Prusa Research is where they are, that will be much easier for them to pull off. I like to see companies do things end to end like they do. That's really good. I know that's not always conducive to their bottom line, but it's cool to see it. Somebody asked about the printer bot, Eccentric Nut. I think you did. I still have a box. I just got the folded metal parts, right, from when Brooke was selling them out. So I just got a box of that. There was a few extra things in there. So I started working on a lot of, what was that? Something crunched. Anyway, so I started working on parts to convert it, like, so I got to figure out main board and power supply and all that good stuff. So I started working on printed parts to fit the stock placement to make it convert into something I could use. I got a little ways on it, and then I stopped working on it. So I need to continue. Haytham, thank you very much for the 10 and using one of the cool stickers. That is much appreciated. I'm glad you enjoy the content. I love it that people actually watch that stuff. It's still kind of hard for me to believe that people watch it. I mean, I see the numbers that people are watching it, but still amazes me. So thank you. I mean, what? Content? 100 likes? Wow, you people are being very generous today. Thank you. It's because of the Ender 5. Everybody comes to see the Ender 5, right? It was pretty easy to set up. I didn't have any issues. It was very straightforward. There was just like a handful of bolts. What, there was 8 on top, 8 on the bottom. I mean, there wasn't much to it. And usually on these kits, I expect to have to adjust some of the carriages, make them a little tighter. This one seems to be moving just fine. No issues. So that's good. There's a really concerning click every now and then. And I think some of the filament is pulled up, like, I don't know if you can, where's my pointy thing? Like right here, some of the filament is pulled up, and it trips it once in a while. But nothing has stopped working. The bed is not self-leveling, it is manual. Haytham, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm glad they're hopeful. I try to make them as easy as possible. Self-squaring frame. All right. That's a good point. Hello, printer. Are you telling me something? There's a little bit of something in there. Did you hear it that time? It doesn't seem to be affecting the print at all, but it does concern me. Any feedback on 3MF? I don't really have any thoughts about 3MF. I mean, I'm cool with it. I get it. I mean, I understand. STL has been around a long time, and it's triangles. So I get it. We'll see how far we go with changing over. You know how things change. Sometimes things just stick. That's why we're still on 8-bit for the most part. Yes, that is absolutely true. You don't always get the cleanest cuts on extrusion. It is definitely worth taking a look. And I thought about including that in some of the intro videos. You should check to see how square these are. And then I thought to myself, if you were actually a new user and you pulled an Ender 3 out of the box, you're probably not going to have the capabilities to go square that extrusion. So we're just going to go for it. Sounds like R2-D2. Standard triangle language, yes. BL touches, I have had the worst luck with BL touch sensors. They work okay. I've never really had problems with that. But it seems like every time I put a BL touch on a printer, or I use one that has one already, something bad happens. I'll go for, no failures for months, right? Nothing bad happens. And then that printer that has the BL touch will get the worst clog or failure or something, and it will break the pin off of the touch sensor. I've done that twice, and I don't want to go through a third. Can't figure out how to export from Fusion 360 to 3mm. I don't know if that's there yet. I'm not sure. I haven't tried it. It just seems like BL Touch brings me the worst days, so I shy away from them. Plus, if you can use an inductive sensor, you can get those for less than $3, and they're really accurate. Yeah, I had one Easy ABL. Yeah, those inductive sensors, man. I've always had the best luck with those. Yeah, I had a connector issue on one as well, James. I forgot about that. Pin to probe, that's right. Piezo sensor, Gary, man, that's one of those things that I always forget. I need to get one and try it out. I always forget to go look at. I've looked at them before and they were sold out or something. I couldn't get a hold of one. But that's something I need to put on the list and actually get a hold of it, because I really want to try one out. Yep, same here, Felix. I have the same thoughts. I bought like 3 or 4 of them all at the same time, and they have come in really handy. BL touch for the wind all day. All right, all right. The biggest problem that I run into with inductive sensors is the heat. So the hotter you print, so if you're going from PLA to ABS or ASA or something, over 100°C on the bed, there's going to be a pretty big swing as that sensor starts to heat up. So if you're using it for if you're using your printer for a lot of different types of filament, different heat ranges, and you change out quite a bit, you're going to have some sort of micro stepping. So enable baby stepping, the Prusa has Z height adjustment. It's all there in Marlin. But if you're switching around and you have an inductive sensor, I highly recommend that type of feature, especially if you have a fixed bed and you can't do it on the fly. You want LiDAR on the printer? That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, that's my Joe collection. Pinda 2, I don't know how far we are in firmware for Pinda 2, because it actually has a thermistor inside it, or some sort of thereof. And it's supported on the INC, but I'm not sure. That'd be a good question for Scott Latine. Scott might be watching, just not have access to chat. I don't know where we are in Marlin with you can read that probe. And I'm not exactly sure how Prusa is reading it. I'd have to go check out the firmware. But that's the only reason I could think of. Oh, my Joe collection. So all of my Joes are MMU except one. It's almost time for Santa Joe. I didn't even get my Zombie Joe out for Halloween. This is my Joe collection. My newest one is Joe on the Blue Sheep. And then my favorite one is probably Zombie Joe. And then we have Santa Joe. These were all MMU. I have Smurf Joe. It's just Joe in blue. And then regular Joe. This one was the palette one, and it's Purple Joe. But he's only 4 colors, so he's not near as interesting as the rest. That's my Joe collection. A Simpson Joe would be awesome. There you go, SLA Joe. Poor Zombie Joe. Zombie Joe's always falling down. He's a character. Jim, it's going fantastic. We're printing a Benchy. I have not tried the new rep winders yet. I think Pooch was saying that he was going to he has a few more actual hardware, metal hardware pieces on his now. I have not seen that design, but I would be willing to give it a try. It is not my new favorite printer yet. It is just another printer still at this point. The Mars Pro. CGA video game. Yeah, it does. Creality doesn't have a Core XY, do they? I don't know. Creality's got so many different machines, I can't keep up with them. I need Joe and a Benchy. That would be amazing. What do these cost, everybody? I'm gonna say they were $300. Ender 4 is Core XY? I jumped 4. I don't remember that one. I don't think I've ever seen the 4. Turn your Tornado to Core XY? That'd be interesting. 350-ish. Gotcha. The Joe STL, it should be everywhere. Well, now I don't see Joe, 3D printed Joe. Oh no, I'll have to dig around and see if I can find the link to it. Clint says Ender 5's on sale right now for $309. How hot is okay for Ender 3 steppers? They're gonna get pretty hot. If it's a 2130, they will tell you really quickly though when they've become too hot, because they will shut down or you will get stuttering quickly. I'm guessing since you're running 2130s, you have flashed Marlin. I would turn your debug or your status or whatever that is, I would turn that on and plug it into the terminal and let it give you some status reports during a print and see how hot they're actually getting. They're going to be pretty hot though. I'm guessing you can't touch one while it's running. Mini Joe on Prusa's website. There you go. Neil Warwick, how's it going, Neil? $3D cartoon of yourself? That would be sweet. Yeah, oh, you were talking about, so maybe I misread your comment. The drivers themselves, yes, they are going to be super hot. The motors, if that's what you're talking about, I'm going back now. So you're talking about the motor. The motors are going to get kind of warm, probably. And that's okay. I'm not sure. It depends on the model. I don't remember exactly the temperature that they start to complain. But like, so for instance, like the Prusa, the Z motors, they're not very large steppers. I don't know what exact model those are, but they hold current all the time so that Z doesn't fall. And they hold a certain percentage of current while it's not printing, whatever, blah blah blah. But they're always going to be pretty warm to the touch. I have ran steppers successfully where you really couldn't hold your finger on it too long. So it just kind of depends. On an Ender 3, those aren't very big steppers, so driving them very hard at all, they're going to get warm. Joe with Spock ears. Yes, this has Z-Lift enabled. It should, if it's suffering from wobble, doesn't matter on lift. Thomas, I only say that 3 or 4 times a day. The man, the myth, the legend, Hollow Blink is in the chat. I tweeted yesterday, Paulo has shared the mini acrylic printer that he built and designed that fits in a filament box. It is now available on Thingiverse. And do yourself a favor and go check that thing out, because it is impressive. Very well done, Paulo. Thank you for joining the chat today, by the way. As far as I'm concerned, Paulo is a superstar. It was great to meet him at Earth and to get to do an interview. Bob Ross Joe, yes, that would be so good. War says ADC. I would have said that sounds like a pretty good number. I think the first number I would have said was 60, but 80 sounds like a good number, because I have seen them get pretty hot and still be okay. Those are pretty solid little motors. It was in my printer. Doh. That's a great idea. Come on, Thingiverse, you can do it. I'm getting there. Try this. Hopefully this works. For reverse. It is very tiny. It is really impressive. Anthony Williams, I think it just keeps getting slower. I've been having problems with it for a while now. It is very impressive, Thomas. You should have seen this thing in person. Hopefully Paulo comes to Murph with that thing because it's really awesome. Isn't it? It's so cool. I agree, Skalda. And now I guess there's something that I don't know. I was reading something. You can send it directly. There's a path to get you to Prusa from Thingiverse. So we probably ought to start making moves. It's just Thingiverse is so legacy. I naturally post things there. Nice. Yeah, I still need to check that out, Skalda. I haven't tried it yet, but I should. Excellent. There was that sound again. All right. Keep watching the Benchy. I don't know if there is any more coffee, but if I'm going up there, I might as well get some. I'm back. And there was a little more coffee. Do not attempt to change this Benchy. This is a really cool color. I've noticed that on some of the Benchies, or some of the prints, not just the benchies. But I saw a benchy that in a certain area, if depending on how much infill was in it, it would kind of get a little bit darker. So it has some interesting properties. But I'm kind of running low on Prusament. I bought 4 or 5 spools on my last order, and they're pretty much gone. Oscar's here. Hello from. Thanks for joining all the way from Denmark. Artillery Sidewinder X1. Well, man, there's a lot of filament on the floor. So, Prusament is expensive compared to the inland that I usually use. Yes. So far with the X1, I've had good luck. Do you want to see the largest print I've done on it so far? It's going to be really annoying. Here it is. So this took roughly 2 days. It was like 45 hours. But it's so satisfying to annoy everyone with.
Great job on the live streams. You're doing a great service to the 3D printing community.
Oh, thank you very much, Mark, for the $10. That's appreciated. Very kind words, but I just do what I can. But thank you. So this is the largest Sidewinder print. It looks decent. There is a very noticeable pattern on the sidewall where it's... I'm guessing it's coming from the driver. I wouldn't call it salmon skin, but it definitely has some... there's some noisiness in there, whatever driver that they might be using. Probably a 2208. But I think it prints okay. I mean, large format 3D printer for the money. I'm gonna say it's a little better than the CR10. I'm not gonna say a little better. I'm gonna say it's better than a CR10. So if you're looking for a 334 like that, like a CR10 or a Sidewinder, I think I'd go Sidewinder because they're about the same money. I like to take this outside and really let the neighbors know that, you know, that I'm here. How do I determine what printer you choose to build and stream? That's a good question. I've never had that question before. Ender 5 Plus, that I don't know. Again, if I was in the market for that size build volume at that price point, I think that Sidewinder X1 is going to be hard to beat. So, how do I choose which printer? So, I do get quite a few printers in the mail, and it seems like I never have enough time to live stream to build them. I haven't put together a 3D printer. Let me think now. I'm pretty positive I have not put together a 3D printer that was not live streamed in 3 years. I have done every one. Any printer that I have built, I have done it on a live stream. So that's how I choose which ones to stream, because I stream them all. Now, how do I choose which one to do what day? I try to go in order received. So like this one, for instance, this is a great example. This one was sent to me for free by Creality, which doesn't actually happen very often. I've only received 3 or 4 printers ever for free from companies. So this was sent by Creality, and it was sent a couple of months ago. But when they contacted me, I told them that I have no idea when I will be able to stream it, build it, review it. I have no clue because it's so hard for me to schedule streams and I'm so far behind on builds. I'm actually almost up to date on builds right now. I'm about, I would say about like a month behind. So this one, when this one was received, this is just 3 or 4 months ago I got it. This is the first opportunity that I had to stream this build. So it's just in order of receipt is how I pick which one. The next one is that second from Ernest, second go. That's the next build. And I think that's a little bit bigger of a project than something like this. And then I'm pretty sure that I'm up to date, barring anything else showing up. So that's it. I don't know what Gear Best status is. All of the Ender printers sound like the R2D2. They all kind of sound just like this. Railcore, I talked to Joe at Earth about Railcore. I would like to build one. I hear that is quite the build. Maybe Joe and I can work something out because they're kind of pricey. I mean, you get close to $2,000 on a Railcore, right? So maybe Joe and I can work something out, and I can get my hands on one. Second 3DP. Hello! There's been a lot of talk about your 3D printer in the 3D printing community. Thank you for joining this stream. The next live build we do will be for that. So I might need you to jump on and give me some encouragement, help me out. How's the Core XY Hevo project? It's not going at all. I have another project that I'm working on that I backseated my Hevo. But I'm going to do it eventually. I have a lot of the parts, but I don't have all of them yet. Yes, Prusa Mini will be here. There is one on the way whenever it shows up. I would also, I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I want to do the 3D Chameleon live, where we get that set up and print multicolor. Maybe. I think that would be a pretty cool stream. So we'll give that a shot. 3D Mark is here. Hello, Mark. A drum jam? I don't know that that's going to be in the cards for a live stream. But, you know, maybe if we get bored. Ever going to build an Evo? I'm going to. So nervous about the build. It'll be fine. We're going to make it work. Yeah. Well, I mean, I like putting together the printers. I mean, as you could probably tell, I've done it a few times, and I do enjoy it. But when I got started, the reviews were always so much easier to do, you know, after you'd paid for it. You know, I've worked with Creality in the past with free printers. GearBest, Banggood, you know, some of the resellers. But almost every time, it turns out that it wasn't so great. The first one I ever got was the original CR10. And it went fine. Before I got the Sidewinder, I still use the CR10 on occasion. And it's getting some age on it now. It's over 2 years old. Or more. But then there was a couple in a row, like the Tronxy X5S. I got that. as for a review machine, and it did not go well if you have been around that long. So it seems like almost a bad omen to get something for free nowadays. But this one was free, and so far so good. It has done really well, and it was easy to put together. So no complaints so far, but we'll see how it does. I'm glad you asked. How's the Snappy printing the Snappy going? I'm almost finished. That is another build that I want to do. I'm actually somewhat excited about that one because I think it's going to work great. The print quality isn't awesome. It's a Snappy, but after I got some of it configured and got the slop calc and everything figured out, I think it's going to work. And I definitely want to build that as a live stream. So it's going really well. I'm almost done with that. I should be ready to build that within a week or two. Red Shadow. Let's see, what do we got? What G-code do you use to say where the printer nozzle is currently... without using math and M665? Well, so are you using Marlin? I guess that's the first question. Dayton Anderson has subscribed. Thank you very much. We'll see you later. Thanks, Ernst, for joining. We'll get that printer put together soon. 26 months old. That's an old printer. Favorite all-time printer, all around. Prusa Mark IIIs are great. They're a little bit fancy for my taste, meaning it has a lot of features, but man, they just work. I use them all the time. I still use all the Mark IIs though. I was just printing stuff on both the Mark IIs yesterday. But it's really hard to not say the Mark III. 3D printed 3D printer, 3D prints another 3D printer. That's a lot of 3D printing. Danny, thank you very much for the subscription. Is there a reason why Creality printers never have a case around their control panels? I don't know, Andy. It seems like the simplest thing in the whole world for them to whip out some sort of injection molded piece to go on the back of that. I don't know why they choose. I mean, I guess it's cost. I don't know. It's not like they're not a 3D printer manufacturer and could make some of these covers, or just, you know, get a plastic crappy cover to go on the back of that LCD. That seems pretty easy to me. I don't know. It's Marlin 2.0. Okay. You have UBL enabled. Nine. I love that name. Never Nuts 9. Thank you for subscribing. Let me go back to this Marlin question here. So, like when I manually adjust the bed height, I want to put a set bed height using a touch sensor button. So, the only thing that I'm thinking of right now, and I don't know if it's in the original branch of Marlin. So, the hang printer is pretty much a giant delta that runs on cables, right? Well, the hang printer, they had commands in there where you could do exactly that because you don't have home. So you get it adjusted fairly where you want it in the center of whatever space you occupy, and then you can run these commands to get it back to 0, basically. and then you could set that height with another command, and I can't remember what the command was. But I could look that up. I think I know what you're talking about, what you're going for, and that's the only time that I've ever done it. And I can't remember what it was. That's too far in the archive. But there is a command. I don't know if it's in the official branch of Marlin. There is a command to do that. I'll look back. If you want to send me an email, you can, and I will try to assist with that, because I think there is something. That will help you out. I just hope it's available in the Marlin that you're using. Send me an email. I'll try to find it for you. SKR 1.3. Why everything works except the extruder. Somebody had this issue the other day. So, Derek, I don't want to throw simple stuff at you, but the first thing that has gotten me on more than one occasion. Are you trying to test the extruder, or are you saying the extruder doesn't work when it's printing? Because prevent cold extrusion can be a problem, but that's probably not what you're experiencing. Do you have linear advance turned on? Because there are versions of Marlin 2.0 where if linear advance is turned on, there's a bug or something preventing you from it working. So those are the first two things I would check. I think if you do, just put like M900. I don't know if 0 actually turns it off. You might have to get into the firmware to turn it off. But you might try M900 0 and see if it starts extruding. Linear advance is going to be in the code. If it's stock firmware that they shipped you, if you do M503 and there is an M900 with a K value, that means linear advance is enabled more than likely. Give that a look. Jim H. Are you saying that is enabled by default somewhere? Yeah, no problem, Derek. And that is true. Hopefully my batteries are good. That is true. That is a conflict with TMC drivers, but that is definitely the first thing that I would check. And then so are you saying I need some more info? So minimum stepper pulse. Are you saying that is what's causing the issue, or that's what you should define? Okay. Thank you. Pulses are too short. This helped. Okay. So give that a try too, Derek. That's what we're here for. Gotta get everybody's printer up and going. That's why we do this stuff. How's our print? It's looking pretty good. Again, just had the thought, where am I going to set this machine? Cool. That's the big. So we were talking about the snappies, right? So then I'm going to have 2 of these snappies, and the snappy is huge. I don't really remember how tall it was, but I mean, it's super wide because it's these giant printed plastic pieces. And now I'm going to have 2 of these. So, you know, those people that were being super helpful that said some of my printers could live at their house? I'll ship you a snappy. How's that sound? There is very, very light stringing, but also Z-hop is enabled, and if you don't want stringing, if you want to try to minimize it every possible way, turn Z-hop off. But there is very light stringing, but nothing severe. It does have 6 millimeters of retraction, though, so your mileage may vary. Still gonna stare at it. Totally get where you're going with that one. Diamond heads, never had any luck with it. Tony Ryan, you're gonna have to ask somebody in this in the chat because I have no advice for SLA. I'm sure that they would ship you another screen. Good to see you, by the way, Tony. CR10, you have 7mm. Alternate basement universe for printer storage. I've just never successfully... So, the one that I had a triple, and I could never successfully get the right sequence. But this was a terrible printer, you gotta understand. So maybe that was my problem. But it was either oozing on something, or I pulled the filament too far back. It just didn't seem like the action of getting it to do 3-color just didn't seem like it was ever going to work. Walter has actually my only successful print on that machine, and it's really awful. Cliff is here. Hello, Cliff. How are you? Only had it a week. Man. How long have we been streaming for today? 2 hours and 20 minutes? The time just flies by. Time for Fun in the Country Basement promotion. I will have Fun in the Country Basement today at 4 o'clock Eastern, so just come back to this channel. If you don't know what that is, I refer to it as FKB because Fun in the Country Basement is a lot to say, but it is a weekly live stream where I, Glenn from Fun King 3D, and Walter from Country 3D get together and have a chat for a couple of hours. It's always a good time. I will get you a link to that. You can go to funcountrybasement.com, country with a K, and that will get you the location, links to all our channels, all that good stuff. But please come join us today at 4 Eastern and hang out for a while. Again, it will be on my channel today, so just come back here. Problems with Z-Hop. That's not too bad. 194, 133 likes. That's a lot of likes. Thank you all for the likes. I like you too. If all of you had a little thumbs up thing, I would click it. Let's do the Z-Hop again. GT, I've had printers in the past where I was totally baffled by what was happening. Where those issues that you're talking about right there. And Z-Lift made it so much worse, and then you could turn it off and it would kind of smooth its way out. But that's because of it. In that case, it was because the Z-nut is preloaded by the weight all the time, but the load going in the opposite direction, unloading it, it would introduce slop, and I would have the same kind of thing that you're talking about. So yeah, that's not a fun predicament to be in. So I'm guessing you're talking about the actual skin tone color. That is this color right here, and I've never used very much of it. It is really cheap filament from our Far East friends, but I obtained it from Paramount 3D. Paramount, if you haven't used them before, they have a lot of very unique colors, and a lot of them are based towards they're geared towards doing different things. Like they have army greens and army tans, skin color, things like that. You can find Paramount. I think you can get Paramount on Amazon. The color is the best part, though. It's really low temp. It's not that great a filament. It strings like crazy. If you're going to MMU this stuff, start at about 180 degrees. It's just kind of hard to deal with. But that's the color. Paramount. $191 times? That's no problem. I can do that. Cool, Red. I'll check it out. I should be able to get back to you. What other hobbies do I do? Well, over the years, I've had many. I was a musician for a long time, so I played guitar and drums and all that good stuff. I don't do anything really else than 3D printing at this point. It kind of takes up my whole life. I have my day job, and then I spend every spare moment trying to put together content for YouTube. So outside of, taking a few breaks to watch some TV, eating some food, spending some time with the family, it's pretty much work and 3D printing. So I don't have a lot of time for anything else at this point. You missed it all! Good to see you. It's looking really nice. This is going to be a really nice first Benchy. I'm excited about that. We don't always get to see that. Industry forever. Well, I do. YouTube is a full-time job. I don't think that's ever going to happen. It's just not in the cards for me. Not that, my success right now has been amazing. I never thought that we'd be close to 20,000 subscribers. That's insane. But even if I had 100,000 or 300,000 or whatever the number might be, I don't ever see it being lucrative enough for me to quit my day job. I just don't see that happening. Plus, I got, I'm 38. So I've got quite a few more years to go before retirement. So I don't know if the YouTube market can sustain that many more years. So I don't ever see that happening, but stranger things have happened. Using an industry profile even, yes, that's true. See you later, Skalda. Thanks for joining the chat today. It's not on Jim. I will send you a personal email when it starts on its way to my favorite printer. I'll even tweet about it. The growth has been awesome. We grow. Because you all are included in this, but we grow at a great pace. Nothing to complain about. It's been amazing. Yeah, with the poor excuse for the part fan that Creality gives you, it looks really good. Pretty impressed. Yeah, the YouTube retirement plan isn't great. You just keep making content until you die. That's your retirement plan. Magnus is here. Hello, how are you? You're never late. You're always on time. Yeah, paying for private health insurance would be a real bummer. Especially, I don't have kids, but just for me would be a bummer. So, do I have any? I've had some TiVos over the years. I don't currently have a TiVo. Most notably, I had the Tornado. It was fine. Nothing wrong with it. I mean, there's a few things that I would have changed about it, but it was okay. I no longer have that. Does it have thermal runaway detection? I don't know, but I don't know how much I want to get into that. So Angus had some issues recently. You probably all know this. Excuse me. Angus had some issues with a printer that he tested, didn't have thermal runaway, and it got away from him. And that's a problem. Should I include those tests in a printer review? That's what I asked myself when I saw that. And maybe that's something that we should talk about on Fun in the Country Basement and get the boys' opinions on it. I don't review the printers to try to sell you one. And I don't know that a lot of people, that's their main point, right? Why? So, sure, there's going to be some people on YouTube that are reviewing a printer, and they're going to review it in such a way that you buy it using their affiliate link, and that's what they do. It's going to happen. I don't review them for that case. In fact, most of the time, I'm too lazy to find an affiliate link for you to click on. But the only reason why I review them is to give you a little more in-depth look at what you're going to get when you buy these things, when you get them out of the box and you try to start working with them, right? That's the only reason for the review. Jimmy, man. Jimmy Sanchez, thank you very much for the $50. That is greatly appreciated. That's awesome. I can't thank you enough. Wow. These little sticker things are... He's riding on a rocket. That's pretty impressive. Anyway, thank you, Jimmy. Print TPU right out of the box for under $400. TPU right out of the box for under $400. Sidewinder would probably print it just fine, right? Anybody have any experience with that? I mean, it's got a direct... Anything that has a direct drive extruder, but the Sidewinder's got a Titan-ish extruder. So maybe Titan? Or Sidewinder? Maybe? Yes, Jimmy's our NASA person. I forgot NASA. Thank you, Jimmy. I love to see people from NASA. Wish I worked for NASA. That'd be cool. Carp. I like Holy Cart better. I'm missing so much here. Do I recommend this printer? I think, I don't know, for the price point, so far so good. It's kind of pricey at $350, but I mean, it's a pretty good platform. There's probably a whole lot of mods already available for this thing. It's decent. Would I recommend it over an Ender 3? I'd probably just buy 2 Ender 3s. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I don't know yet. It's so far so good. It's fine. Alright, I missed a whole lot in chat that I wanted to go back. I don't want to miss too much. Just declared as untested, if not. Yeah, so let's finish up on that. Thermal runaway. So the way that I review things, should I just say it's untested, like Chris says? Or should I actually test it? Because it is a safety issue. I don't know. I hate to... Now, like, every review is going to include a thermal runaway test, you know? I would more like to say the firmware is available and you can go check it out. I do like to mention that. Or the firmware is not available, and those two statements either mean I don't know, there could be some scary stuff in there, or it's available and you can check for yourself. So in the past, that's kind of how I've dealt with things like thermal runaway not being enabled. So that's kind of my take on it. I don't know. I was wrestling after I saw Angus have those issues. I was wrestling with that just a little bit. I'm still thinking on it. It's true, Gustner. That is true. It does force companies' hand a bit. That helps. Purchasing them outright, that does help. Brian, that's great. That is a great retirement plug there. I should be better at saving for retirement. Prusa Mini, maybe? Yeah, it would. I guarantee it would definitely do some flexible. It depends which flexible you would like to print. Is Mini Bowden? I guess it is. Maybe not. A8 Hermes. Well, I mean, the Hermes is self-contained, right? Right? Yeah. So it should be able to print any flexible. I did not stop by GSFC. We should have thought that better. Should have thought that out better. Yeah, the Prusa mini stream should be a good time. Well, I'm anxious to see when those ship. So is Earth. I saw one of the greatest T-shirts the other day. It said, "Earth is not flat. We checked." NASA. Oh, I loved it. That was awesome. Now I have no excuse. Put a water-cooled hot end on log. Yeah. Waiting for the log frame to catch fire. Mini is Bowden. That would do flexible. XLs in 2020? I don't know. Joe said they were going to be somewhere in the 1200, 1300 market, somewhere in that range. I'm guessing the XL they're talking about the Core XY version. I don't know. I don't. It all depends on your use, but very rarely do I print something that needs to be that big, unless I'm just messing around like this thing here. I mean, it will be good to have the feature. I mean, the option to buy something larger like that, but I don't know that it will be as successful as their i3 design has been. I don't do SLA, DLP. I don't do that stuff because I don't have a good place to do it. I have worked with them in the past. It's a giant mess. It's just an ecosystem that I really don't look forward to getting involved in. So I don't test any of those. Oh, there will be no dialing. This is it. I've never tweaked a printer ever. 1800? Yeah. Well, and then see that's another issue, Gusner. Tool changer. I still really want one of those, and that's got quite the price tag on it. Cliff, I mean that's a great point. If it can burn your house down, a test seems mandatory, and I don't disagree with that. I don't. And that's the other side of it, right? I would feel a lot more obligated to test that if I was urging you to buy one. But again, the more information the better, right? So I don't know. Again, we'll bring that up on FKB. We'll see what we'll have another discussion about it. Agreed. I mean, if you want to make some helmets, that's where it's at. Tony Ryan, exactly. Well, and you never know if you've been, what has been exposed and what hasn't. So you're trying to strain it and get the resin back, and it's too much, man. The 12 tool changer, that thing was a beast. It was some ridiculous number. I wanted to say it was like Clipper rules them all. There you go. We'll see on the tool changer. All the ones that I've ever seen are extremely impressive. They had quite a few of them at Earth this year. We'll see. I really want to have some experience with one. How would the BOM of a true Core XY differ in cost from the BOM for this? Not much. This thing's got some really specific stuff on it, like shafts and stuff that's just designed for this. I mean, there really wouldn't be. I mean, there wouldn't be a whole lot that you had to change. I mean, you'd need some brackets, some belts, and some idlers. But I mean, It wouldn't change a ton. You could Core XY this thing fairly easily. I mean, I think it'd be pretty straightforward. GT, I know it was in one of Tom's videos. He talked to that guy. I don't remember which one it was. I don't know if there's I don't know of any links where there's more information on that build that he used. Print a pen holder. Coffee maker, yes. That's a great idea. I updated one of the machines. I never got around to updating the other two to that new version of firmware. I have not tried the different layer heights yet, but that would be handy because I do use a drastically different height on textured versus the smooth PEI. Core XY does have advantages over Cartesian, but I mean, so Core XY should, in theory, allow you to print much faster, but you're still working with the same type of constraints. So like this machine, for example, it's just standard Cartesian. You've got an X motor and a Y motor working on different mechanisms. They're not connected like a Core XY would be. They're not working together to make that motion. Technically, you should be able to accelerate faster, decelerate faster, but the calculation that it requires, you're going to have the processing power to do that. You can run Core XY on 8-bit. I mean, it's possible, but I think if you really wanted to do Core XY correctly, the way it was intended, you'd want to print much, much faster. And I think if you intend to do that, you're going to have to go to 32-bit or you're going to stall it out, basically. So speed would be the biggest advantage. You don't know, Tom? Let me find you a link. This is it, right? In fact, it's in the thumbnail. This is all the information I have on it, my friend, is this video right here. I did see it in person, but I don't remember enough about it to ask. Clipper, yes. Yes, that is one of the biggest advantages to Clipper. 8-bit. Yeah, Mark, kinda. 2 dimensions of a delta. Salamander. Duet is a great option for Core XY. That is very true. Yeah, especially with the Delta design, you're gonna need a little more oomph for that. Don't pop the clutch or you'll stall it. That is also a good point. You can set the motors outside. That would be a big advantage if you're doing something like that. The Dream 3, I would really like to see so linear rails is something along the lines of a tool changer. You could, let's just say it worked miraculously. There were no flaws. The tool changer design was just where it was at. So, really sturdy printer. You get linear rails. You have multiple print heads, and you could dedicate them to certain materials. And then you would ultimately want to have some sort of material storage so that you didn't, so that you could leave them set in there for a long period of time and use them when you liked. Also, with Tool Changer, you're not limited to printing. You could successfully change it out to a different head or something like that, and the enclosure factor. So the more versatile, the better. I would like to be able to print everything from, PLA, Pokemon, integrate multi-materials easily in a print, and then go all the way to like PSU or Peak. I mean, that's the ultimate. That would be my ultimate goal, because I've been playing around with PSU and Ultim, and that stuff is incredible. If you don't have to pay for the material, but it's incredible how strong that stuff is. So versatility would be my dream printer, and I think the tool changer setup would be the way to do it easily. Tom, the computation that it takes to do the movement for Core XY, I think it's more. I mean, I guess that's the myth you're talking about. It's more if you would like to print at speed, depending on what that speed is, you're gonna have a hard time keeping up with an 8-bit board. A new set of bit drivers. You're talking about like Hex, for putting together 3D printers. These are Milwaukee, and I get them off of Amazon. I think they're around $20. They have been very good. If you want just wrenches, I highly recommend Weehaw. Not just because it's fun to say, but they have been really good wrenches. They are a touch pricey, but they have been amazing so far. So that's what I use. Hook up 2 different types of sensor for the Z-axis. Building a 3-in-1 CNC with Duet Wi-Fi. Can you suggest some procedures? Well, the problem is Duet. I don't know for Duet. In Marlin, I guess you could. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how that would work. I don't know of one. I wish I could help you out there, especially with Duet. I'm not sure how those would coincide with each other. I've had a lot of people tell me that auto leveling with Duet is quite the adventure. So multiple sensors, I just don't know. I'd have to get in there and actually dig around to figure it out. Grilled cheese sandwich flipper. Right, dedicated full-size cabinet. I mean, we're talking like, printer on rollers at this point. Hang printer with tool changer. Printed parts for electric scooters. Sweet. What do you think about selling 3D printed parts for niches in the US? There's market for that. Printing has become so common now, though. I mean, unless you're doing something high-end, like Vision Miner does, I don't know how much profit there is in it anymore. You know, for rapid prototyping or something like that, I don't know that there's much room left in that market. Desktop resin gel would be awesome. I didn't realize there was a patent on that, but I guess there is. That's why you don't see any, right? The price drop in 32-bit boards has changed a lot of things. I mean, those SKR boards are so cheap. It's pretty impressive. Any tips on Live Z Adjust? What issues are you having, my friend? It should be, it should work on the fly. It is okay. Felix is one of our duet guys. He told me the other day that I think he challenged me or something to set that up. But Felix might have better answers for two sensors on duet. Awesome. Welcome to the live stream. It's good to see first timers come in. I'm glad you guys get to catch the live streams every now and then. These are always fun. I have already tried Spaghetti Detective. This is kind of fun to hit your face on. I've already tried Spaghetti Detective. But it was for my Patreon supporters only. And that's what you get when you support me over on Patreon. You get all this handy additional content, like the trying of Spaghetti Detective. And it seemed to work. It worked. Funny that it worked like this, but it worked on the spaghetti. Like, as soon as you started seeing spaghetti, it worked. This has been a while ago since I've tried it. I know that they've been developing it quite actively, but so I actually knocked the model over, right? And I just let it keep printing. It would, as long as the model stayed underneath the hot end and it just danced around, it was fine. It had no clue that anything happened. It just kept printing. It wasn't until it actually saw the stranding that it stopped it. But it did stop it as soon as it saw the spaghetti. So I guess it works as described. What cartridges do they take? Expensive ones. Okay. Anytime. Guster, that's actually a pretty funny. Like, you think about that and then envision how that would go down. That's pretty hilarious. I like that. Yeah, Kodak had a machine like that. I think it was Kodak. Had a printer that just dyed the filament as it was printing, or injected color. I don't know how well that worked, but I have seen that one before. Oh, anytime. I'm glad the information is handy. I'm actually struggling with a video for next week. I had a few ideas, and I've got some pieces of stuff recorded, but I don't know. I just wasn't really happy with some of the subject matter and the content, so I might back up and do something different altogether now. I'm not sure. That was a Patreon supporter. Giovanni, thank you very much. $10 Patreon support. That is much appreciated. Thank you. Glad to have you on board. Excellent, Jim. Have a good one. We'll see you soon. Be looking for that email. I'll tweet about it. DaVinci Pro Color, was that one of those as well? Thank you, Chris Colada. Yes, Fun in the Country Basement will be this afternoon on my YouTube channel. There is the link provided by one of our excellent moderators. Come hang out with us. We'll talk about stuff. There are older versions of 2.0. I don't know if they're still available out there. I'd have to look around. Have you, Derek, have you tried to flip the wires and stuff around to make sure you don't have it's not an issue somewhere else? Like switch your extruder wire over to Z and run Z and see if the extruder turns or something like that. Give that a try. If not, if you've got an SKR board, if it's a 1.3, I think is what you said, switch to E1 and see if that makes a difference. Maybe, I'm pretty sure it's something in firmware that's causing you a problem, but maybe it could be something with the board. I don't know for sure, but what makes you start in 3D printing? You're crazy. No. There's quite a few different ones in EU. I know they were trying to get me come to the 3DP Sweden meetup, but Sweden's a little far for me. But that would be pretty cool. There's a few over there. I have looked at the enclosure plugin for Octoprint. I used it for filament sensor once, I think. I don't remember now. If it's the one if we're talking about the same one, yes, I have used it, and it does have a lot of nice features in it. I got into 3D printing because my buddy was into 3D printing, and he had a 3D printer, and I needed a part for something, don't remember what it was, and he printed it out for me, and then I got a 3D printer, and it was all downhill from there. Joe looked at one. That sounds right. I don't remember. I don't follow Joe super close. He is a nice guy, though. I've met him. So Z Rapid. They have inkjet stuff. Stabilizing arms for the Ender 5. That's probably a great suggestion. Try different separator drivers. It's got to be something in firmware, man. I don't know what else to tell you to try, unfortunately. You tried the ETA plugin in Marlin, and it seems way off. What printer did you try it on, Sergio? There are a couple of different types. There are different manufacturers do the steppers different ways. I've found over the years, so that does cause some headache. But I think he just flat out it won't drive any motor. Excellent, Clint. I would love to come. There's a lot of cool people that go to the Sweden meetup. I'd love to come over there, but it's kind of pricey. Check that the Neil, is there some sort of issue with ATX with that being enabled? That's interesting. Prusa, ETA plugin in Marlin, and it seems lay off on the Prusa. It's probably that stuff. So if you're slicing in Prusa Slicer, I would imagine, it's probably because of the predetermined machine limits enforced by Slicer that's causing it issues to be able to determine what the ETA is. I'm guessing if you were to try it like on your CR10 or something, it would probably be closer. It has to do with the fluctuating machine limits during the print that I've noticed throws those counts off quite a bit. So that's probably what's causing it. I would try it on a non-Prusa printer just to see if it made any difference, because they do a couple of things inside there that they do a couple of things in the slicer so that they can determine the time limits closer that might be throwing that plugin off. CES, as far as I know at this point, I don't have plans on attending CES. I would love to come to Sweden. That would be awesome. That's a good tip, Neil. I've never heard of that one. So if that fixes somebody's issue, excellent. Ryan Buttram is here. How are you, Ryan? Azref has to be Prusa Mark III. That's still my favorite printer. It's just the easiest. It pretty much does everything I need it to do. So, Ryan, I saw you sent me the link to the Saturday night stream. I was unable to attend it, but thank you for sending that over. That is much appreciated. I'm going to do my best to get on one of those sometime soon. What else we got going on? Our benchy's getting close to being done here. Well, we've had a pretty good day all in all. This printer was pretty easy to assemble. Seems to be printing right out of the box. That's a good sign. It wasn't my usual 3D printing experience where we have to mess a few things up before we get it going, so that's good. The print looks fair. We do have a little bit of stringing, but for that length of Bowden tube, I would expect a lot worse. Noise level is just okay. It is kind of noisy, but it's all stepper noise. The mechanical is fine. All the noise you're hearing is definitely from the motors and the drivers. So it's okay. Core XI will be the next big thing. I don't think so. I mean, I think it's as big now as it probably will ever be, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how the Core XY turns out. I mean, it's going to take some. I don't know. That's. It depends what flies, right? I mean, the i3 design has been made popular because of manufacturers. So we'll see how that goes. Are the assembly instructions really printed on the printer? I didn't really notice that until now. They are. Huh. That's the first time I've ever seen anything like that, but I like your style, Creality. Way to go. That's actually kind of funny. I like that. Anyway. Can't get nothing past me. Hey! Yeah, it looks pretty good. It's a pretty nice benchy. There's really not much commentary I got to go with that thing. It's just, that's a benchy right there. So, we'll talk about that here in a second. Absolutely. Jimmy, thank you for reminding me of that. So, Alien 3D, I don't have a lot of details about it, but Alien 3D is doing a charity stream, 24 hours, to raise money for Children's Miracle Network. So, if you don't mind heading over there and saying hey, tell Josh at Alien 3D, that's the dude. Tell him that Chris says hi. When I jump off of this stream, I will jump over there and tell him myself for a moment. But definitely check it out. It's for a good cause. This is a benchy. What's the benefits of Z going down unlike the other printers? So, with a design like this, or a lot of other printers like Ultimaker, yeah. The i3 design, one of the biggest flaws in the i3 design, or not flaws, but things you got to look out for, is the moving bed. So you want that moving bed to be as light as possible. And with this type of design, you don't have to worry about that. Moving beds can be somewhat problematic, especially as scale increases. It gets the inertia of the mass of the bed can start causing you a lot of problems. So this design gets around that. So theoretically, with something like this, you should be able to make the hot end carriage lighter because it's supported in such a fashion. You should be able to scale it larger, and print faster because you don't have to worry about the moving bed. So that would be the advantage to something like this. Benchy's done. Elf Pimp is here. I am printing a benchy. Whew! You don't realize how noisy they are until they stop. Awesome to hear that you love your Ender 5. This seems to be good so far. We'll let it cool down a bit, and then I'm going to peel it off. I'm just going to take this upstairs and stick it to something. That's interesting. Anyway, that's the first time I've ever had one of the magnet flappy beds like that. Ding, Benji's done. Ender 5 today, Elf Pimp. Awesome, Dave. I'm glad we got to meet at Earth. I met a million people, but I love going to especially the printer events. I've been to the maker fairs and stuff before, but just the dedicated printer events, you actually get the time to actually talk about people. Well, we do that too, but talk with people and figure out what they're working on, what they're interested in, 3D printing wise. It's great to meet everybody at those events. That's the best part. Because, the people that we know, the companies that we know, I love talking with them as well, but we kind of know what they're doing, right? Bruce is doing this, and E3D is doing this, and, blah, 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 blah. That's cool and all. I love it. But it's, what's being done in the basements that I find the most interesting. New stepper drivers, I don't disagree with you at all. That makes the printer so much nicer. Three of the two Ender 3s and a CR20 and never got them out of the pack. Ended up using Creality beds. Okay, nice. You got to, Justin. Come see us. I'll be there. 3 a.m. That is late. Derek, if you're still stuck, I have a version that I used for that video. There might be a link in that video. It's going to be an older version. Might give that one a try. If not, get a hold of me and I'll see if I can help in some way. Okay. What's our benchy look like? What temperature are we at? I need answers to questions. I have lots of them. That thing's still at 50 degrees. Let's pull our... This is interesting. It's like a sticker. It does peel off easy. It's pretty impressive that the part fan was on the right side of the machine and it did that good of a job on the overhang. That's kind of cool. I don't know. Maybe I'll get used to this. It's kind of weird. Anyway. Let's pull this back. Let's just use this printer as our benchy, our high-res benchy stand. What do you say? Extreme close-up. Party on, Wayne. So, there it is. Again, a little bit of stringing. This length of Bowden tube, I'm shocked that there isn't a ton more. This was 6 millimeters at 25 millimeters a second retraction rate, which seems like a lot, but for this Bowden tube, eh. Anthony Williams, that is true. There's tons of hot end fan wash on that part. That overhang for this printer and this configuration is pretty impressive, I gotta say. The layers are nice and even. I mean, there's really not much to complain about here. You do have your classic A4988 candy striping. Gotta love that. But there's really not much you can do about that, except get new drivers. Smoothers might help a touch, but they're not worth your time most of the time. Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about this thing. It's just pretty darn good. How's the smokestack? It's nice and round. It's not melty. Top finishes are good. Looks good to me. Well done, Ender 5. Well done. Even up close. Really can't see. I mean, pretty impressed. I'm pretty impressed. All right then. Ender 5 went well. Great first print. So, that's it. We're done. We printed a benchy. We've assembled a printer. We can all go home now. Exactly. 0.2 layer height, 0.4 nozzle. So, today, Fun in the Country Basement is on my channel. 4 o'clock Eastern, come back. We will hang out. We'll chat with Walter and Glenn. We haven't chatted in a while, so hopefully we have a lot of extremely interesting things to talk about with you all. We'll hit a few of these topics again and just see what's happening. Chris Gulata, thank you for the links. Thank you to everyone that came to the stream today. This has been a lot of fun, and hang out with me while we do 3D printing things. Thank you for all the support. $50 from NASA today. Wow. Thank you, Jimmy, again. And Mark, $10. I've got it Streamlabs right here. Mark, $10. Rob, $20. Hatham, thank you for the 10. Benjamin Ford for the 10. And Patreon support, a new Patreon supporter today. Thank you very much for that. It's always appreciated. You guys blow me away with the amount of support for this channel. We will see you this afternoon. Glad that you all came and we could answer a few questions. Maybe not the best answers, but we did try to get some answers in. The next build, I'm not sure when it's going to be. It's probably going to be in December, unfortunately, because I do have some travel coming up. But it will be that second go build, and the next Sunday build. There might be an evening build coming in here sometime soon too. So be on the lookout for that. But we will see you this afternoon. Thanks again, everybody, for joining me today. I hope to see you on the next one.